Welcome to my channel. My name is Egwin from Beyond Systems, and this time we are doing the next movement in this movement month where we do one exercise every single day with some explanations around it and some explorations for you to do at home. Now, for those of you who haven't watched the previous videos, this is a totally standalone video, but if you want to watch some other nuggets, then look them up on my channel. And also, if you want to stay up to date with more nuggets like this for the next couple of days, then by all means, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified. Also, feel free to like and share the video. And now, without any further ado, let's jump into what we're doing today. We're going to look into sort of sit-up variations. But we are, again, trying to isolate two very specific components of that, not for the sake of you have to isolate them, but for the sake of deeper understanding of how our body works, how mechanical axes in the body run, that we can then implement in our own training routine and do with more reps in order to build more strength and also more control and proprioception in the body. The position we start with is we are lying down on our backs, like this. The legs come off the ground. I want to make sure that my lumbar spine eases down into the ground. So it's not so much an active and powerful push of the lumbar spine into the ground. I just want it to gently touch the ground. So that's the engagement that I'm looking for in my muscles. I extend one arm out towards the side so it rests next to the body. The other arm I can slightly bend in my elbow. And the first thing we're going to do from here is lift the left shoulder up and roll it slightly diagonally out towards the right side. Almost as if you were trying to reach with the left elbow to the side. Notice the right shoulder rests on the ground. It doesn't come off the ground. So it's a relatively small movement. And what I want you to do now primarily is pay attention to your chest and your abdomen and try to figure out how do you activate this movement? Where is the main muscle activation for this movement? Make it a slow and controlled movement so that you have enough time to perceive what is happening and when is it happening. And you'll realize, okay, something's happening up here, something's happening down there, and now let's do a second part of this exercise that will give you more differentiated ability to look at this. We extend the legs up. Again, one arm rests down here. Now we try to sort of reach the toes up there with one arm. It doesn't matter whether or not we reach them. It's just about this idea of pulling not just diagonal, but this time also having to lift the upper body a little bit more in order to actually reach up to the toes. And now again, when you do this, try to compare with what we did before. So one more time. And second version. And you'll realize that there is something interesting going on. In the first scenario, where we did not lift the chest up, there was more activation, most likely in your chest area and in your intercostal area. In the second version, you probably also felt more activation in your abdomen, which isn't really surprising given the mechanics of things. But it's an interesting sensation and an interesting, important thing to realize and to make the experience with the theoretical mechanical background, because this gives you more differentiated control over the muscles when you want to isolate them, whether that's for maybe expression in dance or something like that. And everything that you can perceive better, you can work with better. So for example, if you want to support your posture, healthy posture, if you want to stand in front of a group of people and interact them in a very specific way, almost like acting, then every single ability that you gain in terms of fine tuning, fine motor tuning, your posture will help you. And the more you can tune into specific muscles, the more that's possible. Let's do the other side as well. Same exploration. Legs come up. One arm rests next to the body. I start with my elbow being up. And at the beginning, it's just the diagonal roll of the shoulder. Again, my lumbar spine is not forcibly pushed into the ground, but it gently touches the ground. Now extend the legs up, extend the hand, and now we're gonna reach for the toes. Now more activation is needed. Palm all the way up and back down. And then roll out of it and move your body a little bit in different directions. One of the things that you might experience here is a limitation in terms of your flexibility. And say if you haven't done anything like this in quite a long time, then you might feel your hamstrings tense up significantly when you're tasking yourself with keeping the leg straight rather than bending the leg down towards the body. I suggest you try to keep the leg straight. However, it will generate additional tension. And for me today specifically, I feel a little bit of a tension differential between my left side and my right side. So with my right leg stretched up, I feel that the right leg is a little bit more free than the left leg, which is why for my left side it required more activation of my quads as well, which then also even generated this slight little bit of shaking in the movement, because I was more focused also on stabilizing the leg up, which was literally almost working against this pull of my hamstring. But in this specific case, I chose to stick in there because I want this slight flossing. You don't have to do it that way. You can also, when you realize that, just ease out of the vertical position of the leg a little bit so that there is less counter tension in the hamstrings. That's absolutely fine. Still works. You will still have the same perception in the rest of the body and the same workout, both physically for activating your intercostal muscles, your pecs, also your obliques, mainly your transverse abdominis, and all of those areas here that connect the belly to the ribcage, your pelvis ring to the ribcage, but yet at the same time also control the lumbar spine. So you will have this strength workout regardless, and you will have the perceptual workout which will support you in being able to create new neural pathways in the brain for actually this specific movement regardless whether you have the leg straight up or slightly extended. Have a beautiful time trying this out. Challenge yourself with that. Just the diagonal roll, and then the diagonal roll combined with the lift, and have a beautiful time. See you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.